Dallas sucks. Welcome to the All About the Birds weekly report here on a Wednesday, brah. How y'all doing?
Do you know what else sucks? Your outfit right now.
In my vest.
Sorry, man.
I like that.
I've been waiting to break that one out for a little bit now.
It's been a little bit of time, but
yes,
hey, we've come to week 18. Weird. You know, Mike and I were saying that. It's kind of weird.
I didn't like that. I don't like that. Look, Dallas sucks. We don't. Happy Wednesday. This is the All About the Birds NFL regular season finale show. The fact that the NFL is marketing it that way is stupid, but I've totally leaned into it because I can. I'm Chip. That's Johnny, a.k.a. Proud Daddy of 2 starting tomorrow. And Mike and his hamburger meat down below. How we doing, gentlemen?
Meaty.
No, I'm doing good.
I'm being gross tonight, guys. I'm sorry.
We love you, bruh.
Bah.
Brah. Ridiculous.
All right, so listen. We're playing Dallas. It's been a little bit of time since we played Dallas. We decided to not bring on any Cowboys peoples because you know what? I don't want to talk to people from Dallas or who support that team right now. Are we all in agreement that Dallas sucks?
I think we are in agreement.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. I'm tired of them, man. Yeah, I love to hate me some Cowboys. I can tell you that. Have you guys ever been to an Eagles-Cowboys game out of curiosity?
I have.
I have not.
Oh, it is definitely. I'll tell you what, man. The link is definitely a different atmosphere when the Cowboys. And let me ask you this. So I have some bucket list stadiums I want to go to. At the top of my bucket list is Lambeau Field.
Yep.
Yeah, want to go there, and I want to go there when it's cold. I know that sounds weird. I want to go and I want to experience 0-degree Green Bay weather, December night game. I want it. I don't care.
I like that, actually.
Do you guys have any interest in going to the Cowboy Stadium? Because I do not.
No, thanks.
No, I'd rather spend the same amount of money to go to Disney since it's the same exact thing, except the rides are better at Disney. So,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hear it's really expensive, but plus, like, it's just the fact that they make it.
I don't want to give Jerry Jones even a cent.
Thank you.
Not even 1 cent. Neither do I, nor will I ever go to an Eagles Washington game in Maryland because I don't want to see the Washington Zip Ties play.
So I have.
Sorry. The Washington Guardrails. I apologize.
I have been at that stadium. For the record, it was the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I know that was 4 or 5 years ago now, whatever it was.
When I was your age, I went to the Eagles Super Bowl parade.
For the record, the stadium was actually where I was fine. So people down there were nice. Parking was good. The Eagles can take a lesson from Washington. They had plenty of porta potties in the parking lot for tailgating purposes.
No.
Didn't wait in line for a half hour.
I'm not giving Dan Snyder $1. I'm not giving anybody $1 at this point because they all suck. Now, with that being said, the game this week is going to suck.
Yes.
Now, we don't know how much it's going to suck yet. We know it has been flexed. So once again, thank you so much. We really appreciate the fact that they're flexing a game that our starters are probably not going to play in. And then we're going to hear about how we're tanking this and we're saving it for the playoffs and they're not going to be prepared. Well, they could have had 10 wins and shut your mouths.
Well, do you know if this happens? So everyone's complaining that Eagles lose, they're not trying to get a better seed. Even if the Eagles lose and San Francisco loses and New Orleans wins, the Eagles will move up to the 6th seed. San Fran drops out. San Fran actually drops out of the playoffs, and New Orleans gets the last seed because of all three will have the same records. And I guess the common opponent or whatever
tiebreaker winner has no business being in the playoffs.
They would be the 7th seed. We would be the 6th seed. So even if the Eagles lose, it doesn't mean that they're cemented into that 7th spot. They still can get the 6th spot after the games on Sunday. So it's something else to keep an eye on.
So let's start with this question. It's a philosophical question, my bros, right? I learned now. Philosophical question here. Should the key starters, and I'm talking your Jalen Hurtses, your Kelseys, your Mylatas, your Lane Johnsons, your Jordan Howards, your Devontae Smiths, your Dallas Goedert, and pretty much anybody on the defense. Should they play on Saturday because it's against Dallas at home? It's the last home game.
I don't think so. Like for me, it's yeah. I understand people want them to play because you're playing a good team. Who knows if Dallas says they're gonna play their starters, but who knows if they're gonna play their starters? So
except they got Micah Parsons tested as quick as possible so that they can do the 90 days and have no concerns during. By the way, real quick, and we have a lot of great comments rolling in. I apologize. Let me do that real quick. Maddie, hello. Yes, they did flex the game to Saturday at 8:15. What's up, Adam? Dallas sucks. Because fuck them, that's why. Agreed. Javier, yes, from the Mr. and Mrs. Chip pick game session Wednesday, they know I pick against Dallas no matter what. Javier, I agree. Okay, here's the thing. And for those of you that don't know, the Eagles placed 12 members. I think it was 12. I don't know if that number has changed at all. 12 members on the COVID list, right? Mm-hmm. They will not play this weekend, most likely. What it also means is that once you test positive and then you come back, you have a 90-day window where they don't even test you again. You are noticing players like Micah Parsons getting their positive tests now, so they're good for the playoff runs. And you're seeing that happen with a lot of these teams that are already locked into playoff positions. They're key players.
That is not necessarily 100% true. If you're symptomatic, they will test you, or you can also request to be tested.
Yeah.
So you can apparently, from everything I'm hearing, you can request to be tested. And again, if you're coughing, sniffling a lot, I believe it's up to the medical staff of the team or possibly some of the coaches. They can pull you aside. Hey, you got to go get tested. So
yeah, because that's definitely going to happen in the playoffs.
I'm just saying, I get it. I'm just telling you, this is what I've heard. So
the NFL wants no part, absolutely zero part of any of their key stud starters missing a playoff game. You do not want Jordan Love starting for Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. Yeah. You do not want. Is it Chase Daniel still backing up in Kansas City?
I believe it's Chad Henne.
I think
it's Chase Daniel still, right?
Or did
I think it's Daniel. I think Chad Henne was last year because Matt Moore came back because Henne got hurt or something.
Right? You don't want anybody whose name is not Patrick Mahomes playing for the Chiefs. Yeah, so these guys, they're getting their tests, or they are, like the Eagles are doing, keeping their quarterbacks in totally separate rooms. Back to the question, though. Should the starters play? Mike, you didn't really get a chance to answer.
I don't know. I've been going back and forth with this one because it's one of those things like, you don't want your starting quarterback to start, but at the same point in time, it would be good to get him more experience for Jalen Hurts is better, but you don't want him to get hurt. But you also don't want Gardner Minshew to get hurt because if Jalen Hurts gets hurt in the playoffs, then you're going to Reed Sinnett. But you also don't want to watch Reed Sinnett start and play a full game on Saturday Night Football. So the fact of the matter is, as Eagles fans, this is the biggest no-win situation of the season. I don't want Jalen Hurts to play and get hurt. I don't want Gardner Minshew to play and get hurt. I don't want Reed Sinnett to play. I don't want to watch that crap.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam. I was trying to get there. So, as far as some of the other starters, the only guy I really want to start the game is Jason Kelce to keep.
Give him one snap and get him off the field.
Exactly. I would like to see Alex Singleton play. I want to see TJ Edwards continue to play. But I'd like to see guys like McPherson get in there in the secondary, get some snaps. Let Milton Williams play. Some of these.
Let Jalen Reagor play the whole game.
Yes. That might be good for him.
Chase Daniel's the backup for the Chargers. I knew I just saw him on a game, but I couldn't remember what team. It's the Chargers. Go ahead. Keep going.
And I want to see nothing but Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell as far as running backs go.
No, I don't want to see Gainwell. Yes, put in Kerryon Johnson.
Okay. I think what you're going to see is like they use that because you can use COVID replacements, and that doesn't mean you have to take people off your roster or anything like that. When they're COVID replacements, they're replacing the guys that are on the COVID list. So there's no moves you have to make after that. So Cameron Malveaux and Jacoby Stevens. So those two guys will be up and they will be playing, and I expect them to play a number of snaps because the Eagles don't have depth at linebacker. We know that. Alex Singleton.
Eagles don't have a lot of depth on the team in general.
I wouldn't say
They do,
that.
it's just not good depth.
Yeah,
Correct.
but
They've got guys that will do well in the preseason, but when you're putting them in, if they have to start games, you have concerns. Like I need 100%. I need Jordan Mailata to make it through Saturday so that he is starting against whoever. I need Lane Johnson. I need Herbig at this point. I want nothing but backups on the O-line this week.
Herbig got rolled up last week. I'm sure you guys saw
Finished
that.
the game.
I thought he was done. Thought he was done for. Yeah, I would like to see Sua Opeta get some more playing time. I think he's a valuable piece going forward as a depth piece.
Mm-hmm.
I like what I see from him.
Because what I'm thinking you're going to see is because I know Dickerson's been on the injury report as well. So I think offensive line-wise, you're going to see Dillard at left tackle. You're going to see Sua Opeta. You're going to see Jack Anderson at center. You're going to see Brett Toth at right guard. And then you're going to see Loveraven Clark at right tackle.
Why did you have to ruin my night and say Brett Toth?
Preseason week 4 coming to you in week 18 at Lincoln.
But the NBA, I'm watching basketball as well. But the NFL had to know that by doing an 18th week, that this was not only a possibility, but a realistic possibility.
How did they not?
This was always going to happen.
But how did they not know before they flexed this game, that this could be a possibility? I mean, these are the people that they're the NFL. They know the schedule. They know the tiebreakers. Johnny, you and I talked about this. Remember, I think I told you, I'm like, you watch. If they're playoff bound, they're going to flex that last game against Dallas, and it's going to be a shit show. And now it's going to be.
Yep. If the Eagles would have beat the Giants, this would have been for the division, and it would have been a perfect to make it Saturday night and everything. And that's fine. But it's not. Why not put a team like New England or Buffalo game? Because no matter what, those teams need to win, because if they win, they still have a chance at the division. So put New England at 8-15, because if they win, then they need Buffalo to lose to get the division, stuff like that. Not the Eagles game. There's nothing to play for, because that's the biggest thing. You're having a team play.
The Eagles know they're going to be on the road next weekend.
Yeah. Exactly.
It doesn't matter as the 6 or the 7. They're going to be on the road. They have no reason to play things. Dallas knows that they are going to be home next weekend. Right? There's nothing unless they fall even further down, right?
No, they're going to be home. They're going to have
be home. So there's no point in having the starters play.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bobby was saying he wants nothing but backups. Unfortunately, teams don't have enough backup depth to start nothing but backups. There's going to be some starters, but the guy I really want to see in bubble wrap is Darius Slay.
Yeah.
I don't even don't even come to the stadium. Just stay home. You know what I mean? Just stay home. You're good.
And again, you saw what Dallas took a hit with Gallup going down.
Yeah.
If this was a game that mattered, Micah Parsons not playing affects the team. Get these guys as safe as possible, please.
Yeah, exactly.
I have questions.
What you got?
I think Johnny might be able to help me with one of those, because you're Mr. Draft Positioning. Wouldn't losing this game technically help us? And here's why I'm saying that. So you're going to have some 10-win teams that don't make the playoffs in both the AFC and NFC. So I'm just talking about the draft picture right now. So if we have 9 wins as opposed to 10 wins, regardless of whether or not we're in the playoffs, because the draft goes reverse order of standings. I don't think they factor playoffs into that, correct?
They do factor the playoffs.
The Super Bowl champion is 32.
Okay. All right.
Super Bowl runner-up is 31.
But I'm talking about where we are, if you're within that margin, they're going to bump you down because of playoffs. I wasn't sure how that works. You know what I mean?
So if a team has 11 wins and they miss the playoffs, they get that last spot before the playoff teams. So there's 14 teams. They're going to get that last spot, which I believe is 18. So they would get that 18 spot, and then the Eagles would be 19. And the Eagles lose in the first round, they would stay at 19. They wouldn't move to the 18.
Okay. All right. My last question is, and I'm curious about this. Remember when the game against Washington got pushed back to Tuesday night because of all the positive tests? What do you think the likelihood of that happening to a playoff game would be? I mean, if
Zero.
You think so? Because
Zero.
then the NFL is just mired in hypocrisy. If you're not going to push back a playoff game, you shouldn't push back a regular season game. You had said all year from the get-go, we're not moving any games. It's up to you to figure it out. So why is it okay? You see what I'm saying, right? Like it makes no sense to me.
My feeling on it, I think they kind of learned their lesson because they pushed those 2 games back or those couple games back. And none of those teams really got a chunk of the players back. That's why they changed everything. Because if you remember, Washington, they got a few defensive linemen back, but they also lost their right guard, Brandon Sheriff. He got COVID and he was out. So they got a few guys back, but they also lost the guy, a key person. So for me, it's just that they learned that, maybe pushing the game back really doesn't help you all that much. And that's why they put into effect that basically 5-day.
The 5-day rule.
So even if that's why they're encouraging people and teams are testing people on Mondays, because if you test positive on Monday, you have a chance to play that on Sunday because it's past 5 days. So, and I guess you don't need another test to be a negative test to be cleared. So I understand that, but if like a quarterback gets it or a sick,
it's not going to be
Thursday
a problem.
Friday?
Just look at how quickly Carson Wentz was allowed to come right back.
I was surprised by that, by the way.
So the NFL made sure when the CDC was like, 5 days. They're like, that's our new plan. We're going to do the 5 days. That's a great plan. Wonderful plan. Fantastic plan. That's our plan. And that's it. Adam says the Cowboys Stadium is a backup site for the Super Bowl just in case they have to change it. Yeah. Of course, Jerry World's the backup. It was between that and Washington. And something about a guardrail breaking really pushed it right into Dallas's favor. Again. We're not going to get him, but I would trade 3 of those first-round picks for that kid. That kid's a stud. Johnny, Mr. Draft, is he worth that much of a trade-off?
I'm not trading all my first-round picks for him.
Nah, not all of them.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. He's a great player, great talent. Don't get me wrong, but I think the Eagles they do need a pass rusher, but with the amount of picks that they have, and again, don't be surprised if they sign a free agent pass rusher, a guy that's a veteran.
Ryan Kerrigan, he's going to be available.
No, not Ryan Kerrigan. Another type of veteran. I'm just saying. So off the topic, but I would not trade a ton of picks up for him if he somehow fell. If there's some reason he fell, he ran a slow 40 or at the combine, or there's something comes up that he falls. No doubt, am I getting him? But there's other players that I want and that may fall to them. Now, again,
yeah,
we will see.
And Bobby, we agree. Brandon Graham is not going to be here forever, and Derek Barnett has got to be on the way out at this point. But I agree that I don't think he's going to fall that far to us.
No.
So here's my question, because by the time we meet next week, we'll know a little more of who we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you want to play in the playoffs, and who do you think we're going to play in the playoffs? Johnny, I'm going to start with you. Want versus realistic.
Who I want to play and who are they gonna play? I'll tell you one team I don't want to see in the first round are the Rams. I'll tell you that right now. That's one team I don't want to see. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a rematch with Tampa. That's just my opinion. I think it's going to be Tampa Bay. Just because I just think Tampa Bay is going to be that's what it's going to be. And, I understand the game that we had on that Thursday night and everything there. I understand all that, but Tampa is missing some weapons. And they are pretty beat up. There's no Antonio Brown. There is no Chris Godwin. Mike Evans is a hamstring pull away from not playing. They have Cyril Grayson. They have Tyler Johnson.
Jalen Darden.
Jalen Darden.
And don't sleep on my man Tyler Johnson. Come on now.
I know. Minnesota bound. Yeah, we know. But it's you look at them, they're going to use their tight ends a lot, which I know Chip doesn't, he likes tight ends, but he doesn't like tight ends in football. So
I love tight ends in football. I hate that we can't stop them.
Yeah, but you look
issue.
at Tampa, and I just feel that may be the most logical. I think they may be the best one, because I know Arizona. People want to say Arizona, if Arizona wins the division, to play Arizona, but I don't know. I think Arizona's defense is right now is better than Tampa Bay's defense. So for me, I wouldn't want to play Arizona in the first round. I think Tampa would be the logical. Kind of my answer would be both. I think they're going to play Tampa, and I would want to play Tampa.
All right, Mike, same question.
For me, I do not want to play Tampa Bay. Johnny, I completely agree with what you said, but man, Tom Brady has done a lot with a lot less. You know what I mean? And the dude is still going strong at 40, whatever. And Tom in the playoffs, man, it's hard to bet against that. And I get it. Look, I understand we beat him in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Not we as in us, but this team.
I was there, bro.
Were you really there? You went to the Super Bowl?
No, bro.
You said you were there. Go fold your shirts. So I don't want Tom in the playoffs. I think Arizona might give us the best chance to win. Also, Los Angeles, look, Matthew Stafford, he's been turning the ball over a lot lately. I know they have a lot of weapons, but has Matthew Stafford ever won a playoff game?
He's never gotten a chance.
I think he was in the playoffs once, but
never won.
And I understand, people would say the same thing, like, well, has Jalen Hurts ever won a playoff game? Well, no, he's never been in the playoffs before, so he has never had a chance.
But he's played in college football playoff games. He's been in playoff games that are bigger than what he's going to play next weekend.
Exactly. I don't know. It's just one of those things, like, at this point in the season, you can't really have a preference. You just got to, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, well, guess what? We got through the crappy part of our schedule. We were front loaded. We got through the easy back half. Now it's time to show us what you got. Mm-hmm. So I just hope they don't get embarrassed no matter what happens.
Agreed on that part. Yeah. Whoever we get across, you plan for them and you plan to play a full game. Because at this point, I said this on the post-game show, we cannot let any team hang 17 on us and expect to come back at halftime because we make adjustments. Enough of that. At this point, you've got to win Monday through Saturday as well. And that's still my biggest issue with Sirianni. But a lot of good comments rolling in. So first off, Adam wants to know about Brandon Brooks coming back in the playoffs. No, he's never wearing an Eagles uniform again.
I'm a little frustrated that we haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be an 8 to 10 week injury, and he got hurt in the Kansas City game, I believe, or the week before.
Yeah, I think it's been around 12 weeks, more than that.
Yeah. So what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
He's not coming back. Bobby wants Tampa Bay. Javier is saying that Odell's looking good. Yup. Jason's checking in. What's up? Brooks is done in Philly. He's not coming back. Tampa Bay makes a lot of sense. Johnny with the wise words. I know a lot of people don't want to face Brady in the playoffs, says Jason, but I believe we have a decent shot to beat him. Then he says something really weird. Their D is hurting, but it's cool. It's a Jason thing. I don't want to play the Rams. I know they were struggling, but those weapons on offense and the D is elite with Ramsey. Yup. Stafford was a Lion. Of course, he didn't do anything in the playoffs. They never make the playoffs, and the slow starts have to stop. Here's what I'm going to tell you.
That last comment.
I believe he did make the playoffs twice. Because remember, he did it Calvin Johnson. They were 11-5 one year and 10-6 another year. Go ahead, look it up.
The last time that they were in the playoffs was 2016 wild card.
What'd they do? I'm assuming they didn't
win.
Well,
they lost.
They lost to the Cowboys, I believe.
Seahawks. They lost to the Cowboys in the 14.
Yep, there you go. Okay, so 14 and 16. I believe that's the only two times he made the playoffs. I believe.
I'm just trying to find the stat book. Yep, Stafford was in the playoffs. Threw for 205.
So he's been in the league since 2009. He's been in the playoffs twice. And I mean, I know that a lot of it's not his fault. I mean, Detroit going to Detroit.
Detroit is going to Detroit. Yeah, they lost 26-6 in that game.
Yeah.
All right. So here's my thing, right? I do not want to play the Rams because on top of them having, Stafford, fine. But the NFL has shown in the playoffs, while it is beneficial to have a great quarterback, it's not a requirement, right? It's not a requirement to have an incredible quarterback once the playoffs start. So If Stafford's playing just okay, then he's playing okay. But he still has the opportunity to throw it to Odell Beckham Jr. and Cooper Kupp. We do not have anybody that can cover both of those two guys at the same time.
And he also has opportunity. He also has opportunity to throw it to Darius Slay for a pick six because he's doing that. I think
whoever Darius Slay's covering won't get as many looks because they'll pick on Steven Nelson, who has shown to be not great. He's been okay, but not great. My other concern, though, is the fact that they're getting Cam Akers back at full strength. You include a running game, that play action's a legitimate threat again.
I'm going to tell you this. I think Darrell Henderson is a better running back than Cam Akers.
Sure. And when he was healthy.
I don't like Cam Akers. And he's coming off
when he was healthy, that passing game was really destructive. Right? So now getting a solid running back again, their passing game is going to be destructive. I don't want to play the Rams because on offense they can do that. And then on defense, they have a 3-tier defense that can hit us in every which way. And I don't want to go against Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey and Von Miller. I just don't. So I do not want to play the Rams.
But the other thing with the Rams, where does Cooper Kupp usually line up?
In the slot.
So it's going to probably be Avonte Maddox and then Darius Slay.
Avonte Maddox would absolutely get crushed by Cooper Kupp.
Man, Avante's been holding his own this year. And that dude,
he's been holding his own, but Cooper Kupp is elite. And you saw in games where there's multiple stud wide receivers, games like Dallas, you have 3 great wide receivers. Games against the Chiefs, great wide receivers, that he can't cover a top-tier receiver.
Well, then if that's the case, you should want Arizona. You should want Tampa Bay because
I want Tampa Bay. I think that we have a chance to beat Tampa Bay because, look, yes, Tom Brady is still Tom Brady in the playoffs. Fine. We know that. But you've got Fournette, hurt. Antonio Brown, gone. Godwin, out. So you're going against Mike Evans and Gronk. And the defense is good, but not great. I think. Brate. What's that?
Cameron Brate. Didn't he have a long catch?
Good, but not great.
I think he had a touchdown last week, actually. I believe.
Look, no matter what, we all sat here before the season started and said, 7 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins, maybe 9 wins, no playoffs. If we make the playoffs, cool. Like, we wanted a developmental year. They have far surpassed that goal. At this point, we're playing with house money. At this point, like Mike said, all I want to see is us be competitive against one of these playoff teams.
Yeah.
And if we win, amazing. If we don't, just don't get embarrassed. I think that's a huge point, Mike.
Yeah. I think the big thing with Tampa Bay, and a lot of people are talking about with their defense, and Jason brings up a point here too. Their defense is banged up. Levante David is not playing. He is hurt. Shaq Barrett may not play in the first wildcard game because he actually is hurt as well. So their stud pass rusher and their basically their middle linebacker, their play caller on defense are both hurt. So that's tough for them. And they're going through so much stuff with the Antonio Brown stuff and everything that's going on with them. And they're struggling. You can't say that they're not because the thing is Fournette, yeah, they didn't run the ball that well, but Fournette was actually playing really well, even catching the ball to the backfield and using him as like a safety. It's tough on them now with not having him there.
Yeah, like Le'Veon Bell is not equal.
No.
These two things are not the same. And I totally forgot, Jason, thank you, about Van Jefferson. So there you go. 3 wide receivers who can all do things.
And Tyler Higbee. We've had Tyler Higbee in the past.
Tight end. There you go. Tight end. I don't want to. I understand the logic about playing against a team like Tampa Bay. Regardless, I want to get there healthy. And that means going through this Dallas game this week. And whatever happens, man, happens. Yes, I'd like to be a 10-win team. That'd be cool. But we need to play our backups, and we need to just get through this game healthy.
Well, what about
I do not want to play Dallas in the playoffs.
That's what I was just going to say. Say, what happens if you get teamed up with Dallas then? And then it becomes – to me, that's a little bit scary. I don't like that matchup. But for the Eagles, and you're looking at a Tampa or you're looking at an Arizona, even the Rams, you talk about that too. It's about the run game with the Eagles. Are they able to run the ball? Are they able to be a team that can establish the run, take time off the clock, work their way down the field, and do that? Because what you're going to see in the playoffs, and you kind of saw a little bit last week, they're going to put 8-9 guys in the box, forcing the Eagles to throw the ball. So that's
but again, and Jason says here, like last time we played Tampa, we lost by less than a touchdown. I get that. The final score was deceiving. We got beat that night, and we closed the gap when they started taking the pressure off of our offense. But that's it's a very different team, like you're saying here. That was without a run game. Now we've got a run game. As long as we stay committed to that and we don't expect Jalen Hurts to try to throw us to victory with 40 passes, we have a chance of beating anybody. Because you control the clock and you play smash mouth football.
Yeah, it's what the Eagles need to do is to stick to their game plan. They're going to do that. They're going to run the ball. Hopefully, Miles Sanders is healthy enough come wild card time. I don't know about that, but you sit Jordan Howard a week, let him get healthy, give him another week. But again, Boston Scott, Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard maybe come the wild card with Jalen Hurts another week healthier. Let him rest.
We're a tough team.
If you're able to run the ball, that's what January football is about. Smash mouth type of, it's running the football, and hopefully playing some good defense.
Well, speaking of defense, this came out today, and I would like to have a conversation about it very quickly. Jalen Reagor on getting booed by Eagles fans. Quote, "It's funny, honestly. Derek Barnett told me to just embrace that type of stuff. It shows the fans are paying attention. It's like the saying, once a coach stops yelling at you and stops coaching you, then you should be worried." Let's break this down a little bit. Jalen Reagor.
He should be worried.
Jalen Reagor is getting coached up by Derek Barnett on how to be a failure of a draft pick.
Well, it's a good comment. It's a good
It's
quote.
a great comment. It's the best thing that Jalen Reagor has said in months.
Yeah, but it's frustrating because you want a player like him to be able to be halfway decent in terms of putting up numbers and getting stuff, but it's just not working this year. Is just, I don't know. To me, it's real reminiscent of you're looking at Aguilar's first couple of years, that 2016 campaign. I know they're different players, but
Aguilar's first couple of years, you can look at Aguilar now.
I'm just saying, you're hoping this is, he gets a bounce back and he starts showing you something, because he's still young. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt there, but I just think that right now, a player like Greg Ward, I think gives you more than what Jalen Reagor is going to give you. And that's saying something.
I watched Jalen Reagor celebrate.
Oh, by the way.
Yes.
I do think I am still correct on the prediction that I made week 1 about Greg Ward having more touchdowns than Jalen Reagor.
And you're going to be, because Jalen Reagor will not play a ton this weekend.
And Greg Ward will. And he probably will get another touchdown. I just want to throw that. So
I just want to say I disagree with Donald's comment. I'll read it.
Yeah, there was a Super Bowl moment, I think.
I was going to say, yes. I'll read it in case you're just listening. Can you bring it back up, Charles? It's the best thing that Derek Barnett has done his whole career. Come on, man. He recovered that fumble in the Super Bowl. Thanks, Derek.
And I believe in I don't know if it was the NFC Championship game or was the divisional game. He had a big sack in one of those games in the playoffs. I will bring it up because I want to make sure I'm recalling it correctly. I don't want to just.
You're right.
Yeah, well, I just don't want to spit out false information and false narratives to fill your guys' heads. So, it was the Minnesota game. He had a sack. And a forced fumble. So,
what it comes down to for me is that at this point, Jalen Reagor has not been a successful part of this playoff run. True. Every time he touches the ball, he loses yards. Now, that could be play calling, the fact that they still haven't removed the reverse pitch out to him The fact that they're still expecting him to return punts. Like, he had one good punt return. Awesome. Everything else has been very mediocre. Jalen Reagor is just not the guy. Maybe he turns into the guy in a different offense and a more, but you have a coach who played the position. If you have not been able to learn from him, there's something there. He is the ultimate guy in your groups back in high school that took the A in the group project but did nothing. Jalen Reagor's like, yeah, man, we made the playoffs. We? That would be my response if I'm Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert. We?
Yeah, but
if I'm Jalen Hurts, we?
But they're not going to do that to their teammate. They're not going to throw him under the bus.
Lane Johnson has more catches in the last 3 weeks than Jalen Reagor does.
Did you actually look that up, or are you?
No. He definitely has more touchdown catches.
I'm sorry. I find it very hard to take you seriously wearing a vest and a beanie. Do you not?
Why, bruh?
But do you not have heat or what?
I do. I'm very warm right now.
I was gonna say.
He's wearing the beanie because his hair's so long.
Yeah, my hair is long.
Yeah.
This is.
You should get some gel and just slick it all to one side.
Why? Why would I do that? Although it actually doesn't look bad from this angle. As long as I don't turn my head, you see the poof there. All right, we're going to rock it this way for the rest of the night. Sorry, bros. Julie's checking in. Hello. All right. Let me ask you this. Did you guys get the opportunity? We're going to change from the Eagles talk for a second. Did you get the opportunity to read the dissertation from Antonio Brown?
I did not. I just saw he had surgery. That's it. And then nice.
No, it was a little bit more.
No, he requires surgery. I don't think he's had surgery yet, though, right? Because he was just at a Nets game the other night, I think.
And I have a question about that. Now, Kyrie Irving can't play because he's unvaccinated, but Antonio Brown could sit courtside, though he's unvaccinated?
I guess. I don't know. Maybe he is vaccinated. Just talk to his chef.
It makes very, very true. But I'm just saying that didn't make much sense, in my opinion.
A reading from the Book of Brown.
Oh God, no.
This is page 1. First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to the blah, 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 blah. The Bucks helped me, blah, blah, blah. Being part of Super Bowl champ, blah, blah, blah. I make mistakes, blah, blah, blah. But I'm working on myself and positive influences. One thing I do not do is shy away from playing hard on the field. Okay. Because of my commitment to the game, I relented to pressure directly from my coach to play injured despite the pain. I suited up. The staff injected me with what I now know is a powerful and sometimes dangerous painkiller that the NFL Players Association has warned against using, and I gave it all for my team. I played until it was clear I could not use my ankle to safely perform my playing responsibilities. On top of that, the pain was extreme. I took a seat on the sideline. My coach came up to me very upset and shouted, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" I told him, "It's my ankle." But he knew that. It was well documented and we discussed it. He then ordered me to get on the field. I said, "Coach, I can't." He didn't call for medical attention. Instead, he shouted at me, "You're done," while he ran his finger across his throat. Coach was telling me if I didn't play hurt, that I was done with the Bucks. I didn't quit. I was cut. I didn't walk away from my brothers. I was thrown out. Being fired on the sidelines for having a painful injury is bad enough. Then came their spin. Coach denied on national television they knew about my ankle. That's 100% inaccurate. Not only did he know I missed several games with the injury, he and I exchanged texts days before the game where he clearly acknowledged my injury. He obviously knew I was on the injury list, and the GM acknowledged after the game in text messages to my camp that I did tell Coach about my ankle pain on Sunday. Thoughts on page 1, gentlemen?
Can we not read page 2, please?
No, because page 2 is much, much longer. I'm not reading it.
My thought is if
nothing is his fault.
No, if that had happened, there would be video footage of it somewhere. You don't have that many cameras in an NFL stadium during a national broadcast and not get video footage of it. I understand it could have been around halftime or whenever, but there'd be some sort of evidence. That's just my thoughts on it.
And you know what they did a video of? They had video of him doing jumping jacks as he ran off the field.
Yeah, he looked fun.
Yeah, that's where if he would have just walked off the field and then just left and didn't do like jump up and down. Now he can always say, the painkillers itself, that he didn't feel it wasn't as bad or whatever. But You know the real reason though that the Bucks aren't cutting him because he's still not on the waiver wire.
They don't want him to play for a playoff team.
Exactly. They don't want a team to sign him and then have to play him against him.
Now, page 2 talks a lot about how his ankle is like bulging bones and he's getting surgery, even though they told him to go get surgery and then he went and got a different opinion. Okay. But regardless, it's something else that is not Antonio Brown's fault.
It's tiring.
It's exhausting. It was exhausting just reading that out loud with as much passion as I was able to muster.
I actually think, isn't he still technically on the Bucks roster?
Yeah,
That's what Johnny was just saying. He is.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think his guarantees in his contract were so small. You know what I mean? Like it was a team-friendly deal. At this point, just keep him on the roster. You know what I mean? Don't cut him. Don't let him go play anywhere else because I believe, and I'm not looking this up, I'm just going off what I remember, his contract was very incentive-laden. Yeah. So, by him not playing, he's just really screwing himself financially. So they might just keep him on the roster, wait till they're done, then cut him.
Yeah.
They can't.
And as Jason's saying, they can't cut him if he's hurt.
But he's not on the injury report, I believe.
The only way you can cut him if he's hurt is if you come to a financial agreement and
an injury settlement.
Yeah. So
and the last thing the Bucks want to do right now is pay him any money.
So just keep him on there and then just let him. Once his contract's over, then you're just done.
Yeah.
And speaking of being done,
it's time for the Eureka Locks of the week. Who's your lock?
So last week, our locks were Chip had Las Vegas beating the Colts by 10 or more. They won by 3. Mike had Buffalo Singletary over 120 and a touchdown versus Atlanta. I believe he didn't have 120. I think it was like 1-8.
It was like 110.
10.
Damn it.
So that was close. And then I had Houston upsetting San Francisco because I thought Trey Lance wouldn't be able to really do too much, which, yeah, I guess.
So the winner of the Call the Locksmith Award winner is Johnny.
Not me. I was going to say I was damn close on that one.
Now, Johnny.
That's fine because you can recap the weekly picks. So go ahead.
Well, I will do that. Thank you so much. I'm sure it was updated on the thing that we use. Hold on. I have to switch it up here. Weekly picks, is this it? Yes. All right, so everybody had a really good week of picks. It was almost like these were pretty easy to figure out. So Jeremy and Jeff each finished at 13-3 last week, bringing Jeremy to 160-96, bringing Jeff to 162-94 in third place. I went 14-2, including correctly picking the Bengals over the Chiefs. But Johnny went 15-1.
Thank you very much.
Which brings, going into the final week, I am still winning, but going into the final week, I hold a 1-game lead over Johnny, 168-88 to 167-89. It all comes down to this, folks. We haven't done, by the way, the show with my wife yet, but I am probably going to beat her for the year. Let's go.
Yeah, you didn't put your picks in, so I didn't put mine in because I don't want them to be the exact same picks, so then you get the victory. And I'm not stupid. That's why I did not do it.
So you don't want to go through the Chargers and
Raiders?
Who is it, the Chargers and the Raiders, who literally can just kneel down on Sunday night for the entire game and both make the playoffs. You don't want to do that?
Only if Jacksonville wins. Only if Jacksonville wins. But again, it's going to be tough this week because you don't know who. Is Aaron Rodgers going to play against the Lions?
Listen, that's what makes it so. Aaron Rodgers better not play. That would be moronic. But even still, I see no way No way that the Lions beat the Packers.
I don't know. I don't
So,
know.
I just have a question before I make my lock. Isn't there some crazy scenario if Jacksonville beats Indianapolis? Like there's going to be a tie, right? Like I don't remember exactly. I'm trying to find it right now.
Well, what would happen is if Jacksonville beats Indianapolis and the Steelers beat the Ravens, Steelers win, and then it's supposed to be whoever wins that Sunday night game, they're in the playoffs no matter what. That is you win, you're winning, you're in. So that's why they're saying if Jacksonville wins, those two teams tie, those two teams get in over Pittsburgh if Pittsburgh were to win.
Okay.
Yeah. Scenario with that.
I would love to see the kneel down game.
The thing is, the scenarios are all weird. Like I stated earlier, if the Eagles lose, and then on Saturday night, and then San Francisco winds up losing to LA, which definitely could happen because LA wants to win that division, so can definitely happen there. And then if New Orleans beats Atlanta, San Fran's bounced out of the playoffs because of a three-way tie, and I guess it's through common games, not head-to-head. It's through common games. So which would mean New Orleans would have the 7th seed and the Eagles would get the 6th seed. So again, it's crazy.
It's gonna be good.
Absolutely crazy.
It's gonna be good. So
I'm ready.
We got to do our locks of the week, and we have to make Eagles games predictions. So Johnny, because you're the Locksmith Award winner, you got to do the you like a lock first.
Okay.
Don't lose this piece of paper.
I won't. I have it right here. It'll be down here. It'll be right here. All right. So my lock, I'm going to stick with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm going to go TJ Watt. I think he is going to break the sack record, and it's going to be a legitimate record getting, not the Cooper Kupp record that he's playing an extra game. It's going to be legit because TJ Watt missed 2 games earlier this season. So he is going to get the sack record on the Baltimore Ravens, and that is my lock.
Mike, up to you.
All right. So the reason I was asking about the Jaguars is the Colts have not won in Jacksonville or London against the Jaguars since 2014, and they don't do it this week either. Let's bounce the Colts from the playoffs. Jacksonville, give us a better pick. Jags over the Colts. I'm not picking a score, and I have a really good score for our game to them whenever you're ready for that, but I know you want to do your lock of the week first.
My lock of the week. The New England Patriots will win the AFC East.
I hope so. I win money if they do.
I know it comes down to the Bills and all that, but here's the thing. The Bills have a really easy game against the Jets. Cool. But the Patriots over the Dolphins, I mean...
You want the Dolphins to lose because there's potential the Eagles could get as high as, I think, 13.
There you go.
So
Patriots are AFC champs. All right. Eagles are playing the Cowboys. The Eagles are bringing their backups in. The Cowboys are bringing their backups in. What do we got? Mike is smiling. Let's go there right away.
Cowboys beat the Eagles 6-0, just like last time we played a meaningless game at the end of the season, just like we went to the Super Bowl. 6-0 Cowboys.
That was a shitty game. That was an awful.
That was the Nate Sudfeld game, if you remember correctly. And by the way, that game was the first game that Frank Reich ever called plays in. Also, there are 2 teams that started 2-5 and went to the playoffs. If you would like to hear about it, and I'm going to thank Ruben Frank for this. One is the Philadelphia Eagles, coached by Nick Sirianni. The other one was the 2018 or 19 Colts that started 2-5, and their offensive coordinator was Nick Sirianni. So there you go. Thank you, Ruben.
So what you're saying is that he screws around in the first half and then comes out strong in the second, much like his coaching style.
Here's the thing. I don't know how involved he was with play calling in Indianapolis. I don't think he did it very often. I just thought that was kind of a cool stat. So
it was pretty interesting. That's a pretty good stat. I like that. Go ahead, Chip. What is your
Johnny.
prediction? Go ahead.
Oh. Should we go straight Nick Sirianni and do rock, paper, scissors to see who has to go?
No, you're wearing a stupid hat. You're going.
Your face. I am also taking the Cowboys this week. I'm not pleased by it. But again, and I see, is Minshew going to play? Yes. Is Reed Sinnett going to play? Maybe.
I think he'll get in at some point. Eagles are also 7-2 since Reed Sinnett became their third string quarterback.
Shut your face. I do have the Cowboys winning 17-13.
Oh,
go ahead, pick the Eagles.
No, I want to pick the Eagles. I'm hoping they win, but I just don't think that the Eagles backups are going to, because I think Dallas is going to play their starters for at least the first half. And then the second half, they'll play backups. But I'm going to go Dallas on this one. And I think it's going to be 20-10.
We are officially the worst Eagles podcast on the planet because we all on the Eagles side of things just picked the Dallas Cowboys to win.
But I will tell you
pick
this.
Was the worst. You're welcome.
Yeah. I will tell you this. You can maybe add it as a lock, but I believe on Sunday that San Fran will lose and New Orleans will win, and the Eagles will still move up a spot, even though they lose Saturday night. They will be the 6th seed.
I'm looking at the schedule here. So we're the primetime game on Saturday, and I'm just going through it. Here's some other games I would have preferred to see on primetime. Chiefs Broncos. Bengals Browns.
That's Saturday 4:30. So
I know, but that could have been primetime. I would have taken Bengals Browns. None of these games. Ooh. Washington Giants. No one wants to see that. Steelers Ravens would have been a good primetime game.
Bengals Browns is now the battle of the backups.
That's right. Joe Burrow's not playing. My bad.
Progressive Boy is getting.
I just said Maker Bayfield. Wow, talk about.
And Progressive Boy is getting surgery.
49ers Rams would have been a good one. Patriots Dolphins, Seahawks Cardinals. Cardinals might still have something to play for. Chargers. I don't know. Chargers Raiders Sunday night game, but there's some other options here.
They should have made it to San Fran and LA because San Fran wins, they're in. So it would have been a great game.
Yep. It's going to be a good game anyway, and it's still going to be nationally televised, but
yeah.
There you go. Thanks.
So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this Jimmy John up.
You're terrible.
Sorry, bro. I had to do it. So first off, make sure that you are liking, subscribing, sharing all of our great, wonderful sites. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. We're trying to get more on the YouTube following because if you've been watching on Twitter, you have not been able to comment, and we feel badly about that. So go over to YouTube, subscribe there, watch there, comment there, or on the Facebook as well. Great sponsors. Statement Games, Fun Free Twist on Fantasy Sports. Make sure you're checking them out. AATSportsNetwork.com/shop. Make sure you are checking us out and supporting what we do. See if you can buy a beanie with my face on it. Symbol.com, the stock market for sports. Symbol, use promo code AAT Sports when you sign up. La Terrain Luxury Watches. Use the code AATBIRDS at checkout for 10% off. Funkbrewing.com. We already did the You Like a Locks. I clicked on the wrong thing. Triple Threat Bets at TripleThreatWagers.com. That's about college basketball, if I'm correct. Yes, Johnny?
Yep, college basketball spreads. There's a lot of great information. Kyle over there. We're partnered with them. So check that website out. Get a lot of great info. He hits on, I believe he said 65% of his wagers that he puts out there. So it's a pretty good number there. So definitely check them out.
65% of the time it works. Every time. Doesn't even make sense. And finally, Manscaped.com is partnered with AATBIRDS. Use the code AATBIRDS for 20% off and free shipping at checkout. Your balls. Well, thank you.
I was hoping you'd do it. I took my headphones off just.
You know what? As soon as I saw you take your headphones off, I paused. I did.
You should have did before you came on here and realized you look stupid with that stupid beanie.
What's worse, the beanie or the vest?
I'm gonna say the beanie. The vest actually, the color coordination and everything. The beanie's just no. It looks like he took his kid's beanie and tried to put it on.
You're just mean.
I know.
You're just mean. You gonna be this mean to your new kid?
What?
You gonna be this mean when you get another kid?
I'm gonna boo him when he comes out.
If he's, they give the kids beanies when they come out, right?
Yeah, but his actually will fit.
Yeah, they fit their skull, so it's fine.
All right, gentlemen, it's been real. It's been fun. Go Eagles. We got a whole bunch of great shows coming up this weekend and next weekend and next week. So make sure you're checking us out. Like, subscribe, share. And as we end every show here on the AAT Sports Network and AAT Birds,